Sugar Ray Leonard, the brightest, slickest, flashiest boxer. What made him different, and how did he approach the big fights? The biggest thing is Leonard loves moving. Who else has this much footage bumping into referee? He uses his feet to just stay in range. That's where the real show starts. This bobble. Just look around, it's everywhere. It's a feint, but he really uses it to set up his jab. You see some guys lean way out to land a punch, and they pay for it when people pick up on it. But Leonard's bobble is so slight that it's hard to capitalize on, and it puts him just in range for a long punch. Master jabber, gold medal, commercials. What a wholesome boxer, right?
You're not a bully, you're a pretty boy and you just like to box.
No. Leonard's really good at bending the rules, and he likes doing it.
Leonard can tearing across at the bell.
What happened in reality was that Raymond tripped over Leonard's leg.
Fight smart. That's what being a champion is all about.
In his flurries, you can see how he pulls away the hands so they can't defend themselves. He could do it in a 1-2 too, but it's just easier to see in a flurry. And, like Floyd Mayweather, he can turn any punch into a grab for control.
Right, he was wrestled down.
Speaking of, Floyd Mayweather Sr. has a different way to jab. Jabbing is about pointing this bone at the other guy. Watch how Leonard bobbles, then snaps his shoulder to point it. And this is important, he uses this momentum to slide him out to the side. Mayweather doesn't need to snap. All he has to do is go forward. So when they jabbed, all Leonard had to do was poke the head coming forward and scoot out to the side away from it. These right hands are jab counters too, because eventually you're going to stop jabbing and start protecting. After being out-muscled, out-jabbed, and out-shed, all Mayweather had the energy to do was yell.
He'll elbow you.
Alright, it's the commercials, just give it a second.
You came to see the Colonel, 'cause you wanted something good.
When you're trying to land your right hand, you have to either go around the shoulder or up the middle. This pointing shoulder from Floyd Mayweather Sr. makes this hard because it's always there to block, but it's the opening for a Sugar Ray Leonard trick. He throws the right hand knowing it won't work, and uses it to push them onto his left hook.
Let's punch, Jill. 1, 2, 3, 4. Punch out for 2. 1, 2 and punch. 1, 2 and up. And punch, punch, punch.
Punch, punch, punch.
teamwork.
Wilfred Benitez is all about dipping under punches and coming up with his left hook. Kinda like Joe Frazier. But the problem with loading up with one specific motion is people can take advantage. With that in mind, I'd like to introduce you to the up jab. Your jab comes up instead of from your shoulder the way it normally would. And it's a sign of a flashy boxer. Benitez couldn't land his counters or his left hooks because every time he tried to dip down, up jab. To be extra flashy, Leonard took another step. The same way you can make a pinball go faster by pulling the plunger further, Leonard could dip down to hit an up jab harder. And now that Leonard's dipping, Benitez starts using his up jab.
It was like looking in a mirror, Leonard later said.
The true destiny of the up jab is to hold the head up long enough for the right hand to come after. Leonard can do this. But this specific adaptation, maybe not Benitez's best skill. That fight was about jabbing in the middle of the ring. Roberto Duran fights are usually about stalking someone on the ropes, with closer fighting. Too bad he's fighting this guy. How could he possibly get close to this guy?
I wanted to beat him at his own game in Montreal, the first fight, which proved to be not smart.
The classic way to get in close is with this right hand. See, when you throw the left hand, it makes all this space. You don't want that when you're fighting up close. That's the opposite. But when you throw the right hand, this whole side has to come over, and you're closer where you can grab them, hold them, that stuff. Or if Duran wanted to use his left hand, he could just throw it over, like a scarf. When he was actually in close, Duran had a couple options. He could push his head into Leonard's chest to free his arms to punch. Or Duran could push Leonard off balance, which means Leonard's foot would have to go back and his head would come down onto a Duran uppercut. Or he could surprise everyone, step back just a little bit to the right, where he can loop his left hand over.
Now he's yelling at Benitez. Yelling at Benitez. Can you see?
The fight was almost even, because Leonard realized he could stop everyone from doing everything by locking up Duran's hands very tightly. and flurrying at awkward intervals. In the rematch at the end of the 5th round, Duran knocked something loose in Sugar Ray Leonard's mind. It was a way to stay out of the clinch. And it was to be Sugar Ray Leonard and do the things he's good at. And of course, this led to a lot of highlight moments. Let's take a look at some of them. By moving, he could take away the Duran right hand by just moving past it. Or he could sit on the end of it to draw it out and counter it as it happens. And by the way, none of those are the best solutions to the right hand. Just put your hand on the shoulder, see? Tommy Hearns knows how to stay calm and box. His reach advantage means he can stay away to land the jab easy, especially the up jab. The same way Leonard could stop Benitez from getting low, Hearns could do that to Leonard. He turned this into a stiff arm later. And while Leonard could follow up the up jab, Hearns is the all-time master. And he made it a very scary fight several times. But there's a downside to everything. Leonard saw 2 holes in his defense. 1, boxers get told to keep their right hand by their chin. That way it can block a left-hand punch. But Hearns is so motivated to throw his right hand, he gives it a head start, and he leaves all this space open. And 2, because Hearns' left hand is so low to help with his up jab, his shoulder's not there to stop the right hand.
Have you been injured in an accident?
I'm Sugar Ray Leonard, and I know a thing or two about being a fighter.
Famously during this fight, Leonard's retina got hurt, and he had to retire forever.
A fight with this great man, this great champion, could be one of the greatest fights in the history of boxing. But unfortunately, it'll never happen.
350 million people will see this fight.
In his heart, Marvin Hagler wants to come forward, but how does he fight someone who actually this time moves like this?
Plus, he's left-handed.
When two right-handers fight, they can generally get as close as they want to. Not that they do. But when two left-handers fight, it's different. Because of the feet, there's always this empty space. So to take that space away, Marvin Hagler turns right-handed. But even for a right-hander, there's still space. And when Marvin tried to close it, Leonard stopped him coming in. Especially with this right hand. He used it whether Hagler was right-handed, left-handed. He could throw it alone. He could throw it in combination. He could use it with his jab. Even late in the fight, when he's losing, he can still land it. Because he's throwing the right hand and bringing all that side over, he can slow down the fight and grab after. Way better than throwing the left hand, where you throw the punch and you pull it back, and he's still there. It's kind of coming of age. He went from this
I'm very confident. I'm not cocky, I'm confident.
to this.
He said, stop and fight me like a man, you little bitch. And I said, no.
He learns to take a step back, maybe think things through. Don't waste your energy, pick your shots wisely. And he puts it all together here. You don't have to go all in, all the time.
You know what happens as we get older? We still have speed, but we don't have that same commitment. Normally when I was in the ring, I would throw a jab or throw a right hand. I knew the guy couldn't hit me back. But as I got older and kept making those comebacks, I was concerned. It's that commitment.
Hey, you make a mistake, you got to correct it every time.
With a career this storied, there's only one way to end this video.